Hey friends, it's Bran and welcome back to It's Mom Life. Today I'm here with episode 1 of the Introvert Mom series, and today I wanted to talk about holidays and holiday gatherings and being an introvert mom. And I actually just went through an experience of going to a holiday gathering as an introvert mom with my kids, and so I wanted to talk about that a little bit, maybe share my experience as well as share some tips that kind of helped me through the holiday get-together component of the last month. So to begin, I'm going to start by sharing my experience and then I'll follow up with the tips. So recently, my children and I went to their school-based harvest party, which is something that happens in coordination with Thanksgiving. And of course, I knew that I needed to kind of prepare beforehand to go into the harvest party. So I made sure that my kids were dressed. I made sure that I was dressed. I made sure that we had eaten, because it's pretty important to go into social settings and events feeling comfortable, and I didn't want to be hungry. I didn't want to be, concerned about what I had on. So I made sure that my children and I looked pulled together, that we were fed and taken care of before we left the house. So then we get to the event, and of course there are lots of people, lots of kids, lots of sounds happening around us, so lots going on. And my older son was perfectly fine. He's more of an extrovert anyway, so he was able to get up, jump into the events and carry on with no problem. However, my younger son tends to have some of the same introvert qualities that I have, so he kind of just clung to my leg most of the time we were there. However, a few things that went really well when we got to the event were we found ourselves kind of circulating through each of the activities, and of course we were very much paying close details to the small things and trying to find some humor in everything, and that really helped for the event to feel less overwhelming, I guess. So we were able to have a couple chats with maybe a few teachers that were there. We were able to have a couple chats with a few parents that were there. And we were also able to play with a few of our little friends, or my kids' little friends. They were able to kind of engage with their friends for a little bit while we were at the event. So the event was a success. I think some of the key things that made the event, with the amount of people, the amount of noise or sounds going on, and the amount of activity going on, easier on us was a few things that we did specifically. So let me jump into a few tips that I would recommend, because there are definitely going to be more holiday get-togethers, perhaps where you're going to have your kids, and this could be with your family, this could be with the school that your kids go to, it can be your church, wherever you and your people gather, really. So some things that I would suggest for the introvert mom would be to make sure that you eat, make sure that you have on clothes that you're comfortable in before you go to the event. Also, make sure you have a little bit of quiet time before the event, because when you get there, you're going to have plenty of sounds and people and all of that stuff coming at you. So if you prepare in advance by having more of like a quiet time before going into the holiday event or get together, you're more likely to feel more balanced than imbalance, because you've gotten your quiet and now you're getting your stimulation. So I would recommend those things. In addition, I would also suggest that you make time to do the rounds, I guess. So if you're at a holiday function with your kids or any other place where you're going to have a lot of people around you, it might be good to walk the event and see what stations are available. So if you're at a food and family function, maybe go hang out in the living room or wherever, then go hang out in the dining room or wherever, and then go hang out in the area where everybody is, but kind of work your way through the space, so that way you have a chance to settle in to each room without feeling like you're trapped. So for me, it helps me to get up and walk the course, just because then I don't feel trapped. I feel like I can connect with each little station and kind of check in and then check back out and move on to the next space. So that's also really helpful. And I found that my son, who's more of an introvert as well, found that to be really helpful as well. So I would recommend these tips. And of course, also a great and important tip is to deep breathe. So when you get to the event, be sure to find little pockets of space where you can do maybe 2 or 3 deep breathing exercises where you just breathe in and breathe out. And you can do that pretty subtly without anyone knowing that's what you're doing. But if you're a true introvert, or you're feeling overwhelmed as an introvert, just do a few deep breaths and try and pull yourself out of conversation for a moment. So like maybe walk to the area for refreshments and do a couple deep breaths on the way while you're not necessarily talking to anyone. And if your kids are entertained, or if your kids need something, you can still kind of manage everyone and yourself. So I would definitely say deep breathing, walk the course, make sure you check into each area or station of the event. Definitely prepare in advance by having a little bit of quiet time to yourself, and definitely make sure to eat before you go and that you're wearing comfortable clothes, so that way you're more connected and more present in the event, and you won't have that extra piece of overwhelm kind of attached to you while you're trying to enjoy the event. Because as introverts, we really do like to have quality time with other people still. We're not always wanting to be alone, but it's definitely going to be more enjoyable if you feel comfortable and you feel refreshed. And so I hope that these tips are helpful, and I'm definitely going to continue to add more introvert mom content. So please be sure to go ahead and subscribe to the It's Mom Life channel. If you haven't already, please be sure to like this video if you found the tips helpful. Also, don't be a stranger. Please be sure to go to the It's Mom Life Facebook page and let me know if there's any other topics that you want me to cover for introvert moms specifically, or any occasions or anything that would be helpful, and I'm happy to do so. So I hope that you're well. Please be sure to take great care, and I will catch you in the next video.